On today's gear check, we are looking at the 6-month review for the Tier 1 concealed T1 Echo series in waistband holster. Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Radzwion IV, your trusted attorney with Radzwion Law, PLLC, and today we are looking at the 6-month review of the in-waistband holster, the T1 Echo from Tier 1 Concealed. As promised, we are giving you this as our 6-month insight after wearing it between 1 to 2 times every week for the last 6 months. We would like to go over some of the overall characteristics of this holster and what our thoughts are. So number one, the durability of this holster has maintained with the exception of just, we've pointed this out in our 3-month video, the black flex wing has some wear, the paracord looks good, the rest of the Kydex is held up well, no real wear and tear or scuffs. The clips are holding up well, there's no cracking, they still have retained their rigidity over the last 6 months, being clipped on and off over a variety of different belt sizes. So those are all good. Like I said, I've worn it a couple times every week for 6 months. I've had to adjust it several times to get the comfort and the concealment to an ideal spot, although I'm not sure I'm convinced that I can get it to where it's unnoticeable throughout the day. This may be because the type of pistol or tool that is in the holster is a duty-sized pistol. It is a 4-inch barrel Smith & Wesson Compact 2.0, and it also has the TLR 7A on the Picatinny rail, or the accessory rail there. So that in and of itself is a large size pistol and very heavy in the holster. The some of the pros, it is relatively comfortable. I know that Kydex has its limitations. It's not leather. It's not going to be comfortable, as comfortable as leather. I know that. I knew that going in, but I do prefer Kydex for the retention, which we'll talk about here at the end. But it is easy on, easy off using the clips over the belt. The Kydex is, it doesn't catch on anything really. It's pretty smooth going in and out of the pants. The price, I think, is right for this type of holster. I think I paid around $75, between $70 and $75 for this holster. When adjusted appropriately, this holster keeps the pistol fitting snugly against your side. Here we're in the 430 position. And I think for the quality that it is, it's priced just right. Again, it has a lot of adjustments. It's got 4 holes on each side here to get the ride height right. And within the clips, I've never seen this, you can actually just back the screws out and move the clips up and down. You don't have to disassemble the entire thing and move the rubber grommets if you don't want to, or the rubber spacers on the inside of the holster. Same thing on this side. So that is the adjustment aspect of it. I have tried this holster on with 3 different belts. One from Next Belt, their leather dress belt, when I'm suited up. It's a 1 3/8 inch width belt. And it doesn't do the job that it needs to for this size tool and this holster setup. It just doesn't. It's not a thick enough or sturdy enough belt. So that plays into some of the comfort aspect when I'm wearing this setup in a suit. The other belt was a Blue Alpha Gear EDC belt. It's like their $35 to $40 belt. It's pretty rigid, but for, again, the size tool and setup that I have here, it's not ideal. And then also the SOE Cobra rigid belt, which is pretty thick. It's a 1.5 inch belt. That belt did the best in holding this setup. It was the most comfortable wearing that belt with this holster. So make sure, if you're going to have a bigger size pistol in this holster, I would say make sure you have a good size belt as well. The cons are, again, the wear and tear on the black wing, but really this wing would dig in. If I didn't have the ride height just right, this wing will dig into your hip, especially in front of your thigh, especially when you're wearing it in the 3 to 330 position. And it will create a hot spot, especially when sitting, getting in and out of vehicles. And then also this red part here, which is really the inside of the holster, which will, the top of the slide will create a hot spot as well if it's not adjusted just so. I did move it back on my hip, but then it causes an issue of now the cant is needing to be canted forward and it's hard to reholster or draw. The biggest con though for this holster is that the retention on it is not ideal. I really would hope that it's just because the TLR7A type light is very streamlined. No pun intended there, streamline. But there's not a lot for the holster to grab onto, such as maybe like an O light with the big universal switch that sticks out, or like a TLR1 that is a little bit more bulky. This is very streamlined, so it may be something to do with that, where the holster just doesn't have enough to grab onto. So if Tier 1 Concealed is watching this, I'm not dinging this as an overall holster. I am dinging it on the retention ability for that specific light. I think if I went to reorder this holster, I would not order it with a light bearing attachment or option on it because of that issue. Okay, so typically I would like a more traditional style retention, sounding a very audible click, very well retained option as far as the retention goes. Even in something like an in-waistband taco or pancake style holster, that has some better retention than what's going on with the Echo holster around the light. I also think that depending on the belt and the size pistol you're going to carry is going to affect the comfort of this holster. I don't think you should ignore the T1 Echo as a viable option. Just maybe take some of these things that we're talking about here into consideration. I will say that the customer service with Tier 1 Concealed is excellent. All the questions I had before I ordered this holster were answered pretty much within 2 to 3 business days via email, so I appreciate that about them. And I will reach out to them with this video. So if you guys see this, maybe comment or tag them in the comments below so that they see it. I would love to discuss what's going on here with the retention, because I feel like that is the biggest hindrance of this. It's not even the comfort or the ride height ability and adjustability of this holster. I think there are plenty of adjustments for it to get it to be in a spot where you can wear it for several hours during the day, but that retention is just an issue in my mind. All right, our overall impression of the T1 Echo series holster is that I'd give it about a 3-star out of a 5-star review. It is pretty comfortable as far as you can make the adjustments to get it to sit in a good spot. If you have a good belt, that also will aid in the overall comfort. And what I'd like to see is, I'd like to test out a smaller size version of this, maybe for like an M&P Shield. If Tier 1 Concealed is watching this video, I would invite any product that they would like to send me for an honest review. No, I'm not sponsored by anyone. I will always give my honest opinion for all of the products that I review for you guys. But maybe leave a comment or tag them below, whoever's watching this, so that they can see this video. I would love to test out a smaller version of this holster and see if I can get rid of some of the hot spot issues and work with the retention issue that I'm having with this holster. So those are my thoughts on the T1 Echo holster. If you support the Second Amendment, please like this video and help us break the anti-2A algorithm. If you don't know what to comment other than tagging Tier 1 Concealed, you can always put "shall not be infringed." We always appreciate those comments. And thanks for watching. We'll see everyone in the next video.